Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. Especially thank you to our special guests that have decided to show up today. One thing that I would like to point out before starting is that the research that we have is a combination of a presentation that has been done and a book that was published with most of the articles post-2000. So keep that information in mind. We have done research outside of that, and that we're looking forward to bringing that in as well. One thing that Western has always struggled with is bringing women to our campus. So we've decided to take some tactics from the book, from outside research, come together and bring that to you to show that through an easy slope of communication, we'll be able to translate this into bringing more Western here. To open that up, Lindsay is going to go ahead and start with the 3.
So a big thing for women especially is seeing what other people have done and observing that and making their decisions based on those successes. So we're proposing that future prospective women need to be introduced to women who are already at Western, who have already found success, and so they can picture themselves having those experiences at Western. So the first group of women that we want to introduce them to is current students. An example is a student named Emma Mantooth, who's currently a second-year student at Western. She is a member of ODK, which is a National Leadership Honor Society. Usually they don't accept people who are not juniors or seniors, so that's a big deal. She's currently, as a sophomore, running for vice president of the Honor Society as well. So introducing women to a female student like that can help them to see success that other women have found at Western and picture themselves finding similar success. Additionally, professors, this has been mentioned in other presentations. An example of a strong female professor at Western is Brooke Moran, who is involved in the ROE program and the EMDS program. She is a faculty in the Masters of Environmental Management, as well as being involved in the new Outdoor Industry MBA. So that's just one example of a strong female faculty that prospective students could be introduced to see a strong female presence at Western. And then going into alumni to picture themselves beyond after they've had their experience at Western. An example of this is Sierra Freeston, who graduated from Western in 2009. She started her own business for event planning and planned 30 events this past summer. So she's here in the Valley, so she could actually be introduced to students and they could see firsthand success that can come from Western as a female.
To do this, promoting it on social media. Again, this is where the early 2000s didn't come into play. So Women at Western is something that has started up here locally, and we want to use that to promote it on Western. A simple hashtag, Women at Western, is how we're going to do this. The other thing is doing a quality survey from people that are already here to eliminate questions that people could have. We noticed that was something on the website was that there's a lot of FAQ and frequently asked questions pages, but there's nothing that's simply broken down for future students to look at. This will help people coming here feel like they don't have to be silenced or fear asking questions.
So overall, this is an example just of 2 current students holding their admissions letters. So we want to establish just a stronger presence of women that can be shared everywhere, and then when females come to campus, they can see that presence firsthand.
Thank you. Yes?
One piece of feedback that we received is that some of the female ambassadors that we put in place might actually be intimidating female prospects, that they are so accomplished and involved in so many things, and that we might be adopting a sort of male methodology of trying to impress women. Previous group mentioned that men tend to be impressed with or striving for being the best, if you will, while women are more oriented toward just belonging and being part of the group, and that what we might be doing inadvertently is intimidating a lot of women or chasing them off by saying, if you come to Western, you have to be this, you have to be ready to climb 1014ers and be part of ODK and be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What do you think of that?
I think looking into that is asking how much do you list on a resume. So your question pertains to saying that if a woman were to come here on campus, we're going to introduce that woman particularly as here's everything that she's done. Whereas putting women that can communicate about what they have done and how they've established those connections here on campus through group communication, through activities, through those different things can target a wide variety of audience. You don't have to sit here and say, well, this is who I am, become me. It's more so saying, this is who I am, use me as a resource to become into our community. So Hannah Montoya, who a lot of you know, kind of fits into a lot of those categories where she is well accomplished on the business side, well accomplished on the outdoor side, and on the sports side through rugby. I'm not asking all women to do that, but a lot of women can look at her and say, not only is she a leader, but I can connect with her and maybe she can instill me into some of these groups that she's a part of.
Yeah, and additionally, continuing to develop the women at Western, that's a community they can be part of rather than just highlighting certain individuals. So I think that continuing to develop that community and highlighting community accomplishments rather than just individual accomplishments could be a way to target females.
Just to make a comment that I like your use of examples when you're saying you need to highlight, this student or that student to use brokers here as examples. That helps me at least picture those things. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.